Hey, thanks for stopping by and welcome to Will Cook Music Reviews. I'm Will Cook and today I am sharing my thoughts on the latest album from Nothing But Thieves, Moral Panic. The British rock band gained a good deal of traction right off the bat with their self-titled debut in 2015, showed off this wonderful modern rock sound, led by the outstanding vocals of frontman Connor Mason. Mason's vocals have got to be the biggest part of this band's widespread appeal. There's just not many other frontmans out there you hear that sound quite like this guy. Their debut album landed a couple of songs into my top 100 of 2015. I put Excuse Me at number 31 and Itch as my 12th favorite song of the year. 2017's Broken Machine was a solid sophomore showing. It was the singles Amsterdam and Sorry that have gone down as the best I've heard from these guys. While neither of them did reach the number 12 spot of my top 100 of the year, they are easily the two songs that I have spent the most time with from Nothing But Thieves. And then we got a few more songs in 2018 with the What Did You Think When You Made Me This Way EP. It was a decent EP. There was one staple I took from it with the incredible Take This Lonely Heart. So coming into their third album, I was pretty sure I could depend on them to deliver another strong set of songs, and they definitely did. But the real test for me was if they could give me something that would have me as hooked as they had me with Amsterdam and Sorry. And no, I'd say that nothing on here has proven to be quite as infectious as those songs. Not a big deal though, there's still a very likely chance I'll be putting one of these songs on my top 100, and if you know what I look for in my music, you can probably already guess what that one is, but I'll save that one for last. And when it comes to any negatives on this album, I'm happy to say at least that there's not one song on here that's a straight up disappointment. The lead single is Everybody Going Crazy isn't exactly my cup of tea, but there's tons of attitude to it, and you can't ignore some of that thick, crunching guitar and bass work. It introduces you to the general subject of the album, which largely speaks on the socio-political state of the world today and how crazy things can be. And speaking of crazy, the opener on Person is about as crazy as things get on this album. You get some different vocal mods on Connor during the wonky stomping verses as the instrumental effects ripple throughout. Again, so thick, so much to grab onto in the instrumentation, a really forward-thinking rock style that I love about these guys. A real great punch to the chorus as well, but like Is Everybody Going Crazy, the melodic pull just isn't quite enough to keep me coming back. Another strong rocker that just doesn't really pull through on the melodic side is Can You Afford to Be an Individual? It's got the least amount of a hook to it of all these songs, but I'd say it's the most directly outspoken on the album. The final 90 seconds has Connor getting about as gritty as I've ever heard him get as he makes his opinion pretty clear on the current state of the world, mentioning echo chambers and MAGA hats and finishing with the interesting question of can you afford to be an individual? Yeah, there ain't much of a sing-along aspect to the song, but they sure managed to drive their message into you during that final stretch, and the incoherent looping gibberish build-up that breaks open right after the 2-minute mark is super wicked. And if you're looking for some of the easier listening on the album, you'll find that with tracks 7 through 9. You got Free If We Want It, which isn't going for anything too out there. It's just an encouraging and sweet, softer side to their rock sound. The acoustically backed Impossible eases you in slowly, but it builds to some of the most heart-melting moments of the album with that beautiful chorus that really gives you hope of finding that special someone. And then we have There Was Sun, which takes on a bit of a 90s feel as it moves into dance territory with this bouncy and kind of hazy hook. I have some fun with it, but I can see this one not sitting well with some fans. There's a real anxiety within the title track Moral Panic. It's another more out there song for the band that's not going to give you that big rock sound we're used to from them. The urgency of the song picks up as the steady clap beat moves in, and there's a lot to explore within the textures of the music, but it does feel a bit suffocating to me. Phobia has a bit of a subdued nature to it as well, but it replaces that anxiousness with anger as the guitars come crunching in near the midway point. I love how the pessimistic lyrics progress, but I do find the song to be a bit of a drag. Alright, these final 3 songs here hold my favorite moments of the album. First off, the closer, Before We Drift Away. I spend most of the song waiting for it, but when it reaches its crashing point after the 3-minute mark with the orchestral strings and the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, such a rush of musical feeling, and it's a somber note to end the album on as well, with lyrics that touch on mortality, Connor's final words being, I don't want to grow old. Mid-album track, This Feels Like the End, got me excited on my first listen with that spoken word bridge. You get that news anchor or whatever he is announcing 7 reported dead and then 17 reported dead and then 57 reports, all too familiar for anyone in news these days. I don't know who wrote this or where they pulled it from, but it is an amazingly cutting speech to throw into the song. The "and then you," where the music cuts and then fires back in, is massively effective. And I haven't even mentioned the chorus, which supplies one of the strongest rock melodies of the album, a fantastic song. And now we reach my favorite song of the album, and that is Real Love Song. This one just does it. I remember the first time I heard it, it was the perfect setting. I went on a walk in the summer, a beautiful day, and I was down by the lake, and when the chorus hit, I was just looking out at the water, and I was like, damn, this is the perfect soundtrack for this view right now. Connor's voice is everything, and the notes struck with the guitar when they move into that epic monstrosity of a refrain are what feelings are made of. And the lyrics, they're witty and kind of silly in a way, with the whole love song verse and then the dark song and the sad song all following the same lyrical pattern. The songs that generally have me coming back the most are the ones I find myself singing along to word for word, just like I did with Amsterdam and Sorry. And with this one, I actually just find myself vibing with it more than actually singing along, but there's such an intense emotion delivered with that instrumental refrain, and I'd be kidding myself if I let it slip anywhere below my top 50 of the year. And there we have it, another pretty freaking awesome album from Nothing But Thieves. And while I can't say I've connected with any of these songs as much as I connected with some of those favorites I've mentioned from the past, I've definitely found some great new stuff, and time will tell how these songs stand up within the Nothing But Thieves discography. Thanks again for stopping by. If you liked what you saw, I'd love a thumbs up, and I've got more on the way. You can hit the subscribe button, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. That's what I'm here for, to communicate with other music fans about the music we love. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you with the next one.